transgender is not an infringement on anybody. So protect our kids. Protect all of our kids. There is no effort to disperse the other side. You can see that it was us and the allies pressed by the state.
Let's go, come on.
So this is Tonga territory. I want to say a prayer. I'm an indigenous person. I'm Chiricahua Apache Chichinauga, 6th generation Tonga territory. I'm an indigenous person and I am queer. I want to say a prayer. I want to pray. I want to say an indigenous prayer. I am on indigenous soil. And I want to say that...
So, yeah, I'm going to stop that right there, right? And just react. So you have basically the LAPD, right, having a intervention with these violent, pro rainbow flag, pro alphabet people, right? And this is just very weird. Now you have some indigenous person who claims that they are, of the alphabet rainbow persuasion, right? Got to watch what you say on YouTube, right? So they're in the background screaming about their queer, how now they are, part of that, and, they are indigenous. I mean, so you see the intersectionality and the insanity of it all, right? So, yeah, I mean, where you have some, now you have to ask yourself, this indigenous person, if these people wouldn't have never came here and took their country, would this indigenous person be standing there screaming about being, of the rainbow persuasion, rainbow alphabet persuasion, and fighting with the police? You know what I mean? Like, you have to ask yourself certain questions. So there's a lot of intersectionality happening here, right? Anyway, so stand by. Let's watch the rest of this.
This is an indigenous gathering. I'm an indigenous person. So please no violence on indigenous soil. Please no violence on Tongva territory. Please no violence on sacred ground. Tongva, we are in Tongva. Please stop. Please stop. 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 We're in Tongva territory.
Why are you trying to take his land? Why are you trying to take his land?
We are indigenous land. We have the right to be here. Why is there an unlawful order only for us? What about the fascists? This is Tonga territory. This is an indigenous land. We are queers on indigenous land. Please stop the violence. I am here prayerfully and I am here peacefully.
So she says we are queers. I guess that means, she said it, not me. That means we're homosexuals on indigenous land. What the fuck does that even mean? What the fuck does that even mean? We're homosexuals on indigenous land, blah, blah, blah. I'm an indigenous person, and I'm, a homo, right? This is what she's saying. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm repeating what she's saying for the censors. The intersectionality and it seems like the mental illness is spreading, right? Like, they're telling you that, like, this is diversity, right? This is why Martin Luther King made the quote that he made. He said, America is a burning house. The whole integration diversity thing would fail. This is why. This shit is madness, right? Anyway, let's hold on. Let's watch a little bit more of this.
Why are you causing drama on Tonga land?
That's right, you got these fascist flags, right?
Why are you causing drama on Tonga land? We deserve to be here. We deserve to be here. We deserve to be
You got these violent rainbow people. What are they upset about? Right? That's what I want to know. Right? Like, what are these people upset about? Why are these rainbow alphabet people violently protesting in the streets, and the police have to, tear gas them and beat them back? Right? What is being done to them? Right? Is it because somebody stood up and said, "Hey, listen, we don't want any transitioning of children," or something? I don't know. It's interesting. So let's just watch a little bit more of this.
Journalists? You gonna shoot the journalists, Abercorn? Is that your plan? He's got a gun on now.
Well, don't encourage him, please.
You got that right. You got that right.
Did you get all the kids in high
Shut
school?
up. Why are people
Excuse me.
This shows you, but you can tell it's about that. Take a look at something.
It's all bullshit.
But this part is fun.
Bullshit. You guys talk lies after lies
How's that
after lies.
fucking Just so you guys know, he was Antifa until he couldn't get any
I was
pussy in
not
Antifa.
Antifa.
Yeah, he was.
Not Antifa.
He was in the Black Unity camp trying to get pussy,
Where's your
but no
fucking
pussy
order?
went to him.
So that's hilarious. So the guy says he recognized this white man. He said he was in the Antifa Black Unity group trying to get pussy from black women, but no black women would have sex with him. This is insanity, right? This is pure insanity, right? Stand by, I got something else.
Control this country's politics, including the arrest of 4 citizens lawfully exercising their right to carry a weapon, one of which is actively serving this great nation. When I say the word lawfully, I mean in accordance with the rights protected by the Constitution and without regard to any supposed law that contradicts those rights. These men have fallen victim to weaponized politics. Concerned for the community, they attended a school board meeting at an office facility that, according to zoning laws, is a government facility. And after the speech given by a community member peacefully addressing the misuse of power by members of the school board and the use of politically motivated violence by an elected official prior to that meeting, all 4 men exited the building peacefully and quietly to return to their daily lives. They were immediately and without provocation confronted by sheriff's deputies who didn't ask them if they were armed. In the following discussion, it was determined that they were in fact carrying weapons in accordance with their rights. All handguns were confiscated, and less than 3 days later, felony warrants were issued for their arrest. All of this transpired because they spoke up against the misuse of power in Gloucester County, and Sheriff Warren felt the need to protect his corrupt cronies. Seeing this misuse of power repetitively across Virginia, beginning with the General Assembly's special session in 2020 that passed unlawful acts of armed control, has led me to believe this: the law and the creator of the law are not the direct issue. The ones who enforce the law are the most basic threat to our liberty when they abuse their power.
So here, this is also going at the same time. These are the Boogalo boys, right? And they're having a protest outside of a, I think this is Virginia or somewhere like that, right? But a lot of this is going on all over the country, right? So you have, on one hand, you have these violent rainbow protesters, right? And then, I'll stop that for a second. And then, on the other hand, right, you have the Boogalo boys and these other groups running around, heavily armed, right? I've even seen heavily armed rainbow alphabet people having protests now. So this is what's going on in the streets, right? In the run-up to arresting Donald Trump in the 2024 election madness, right? So I don't think people get it. I don't think people understand what's happening, right? But this is the madness of that is that is America, right? This is where it has devolved into, right? Violent, rainbow. Just at one. This is just a clip of it, right? So on one hand, you have these violent, alphabet rainbow people having a protest in LA, and then on the other coast, you have the heavily armed these, I guess they would be considered, uh, you know, groups, right wing. I don't know how you would classify these people. Right wing groups, right? Not to mention everything else that's going on. But this is just a snippet. This is right, and then we have the prosecution of Donald Trump, right, where he may be arrested but still elected president, and he may be president from a jail cell in Georgia, let's say. Now this is a real possibility, right? Because you can actually be elected president and still be arrested and incarcerated. People don't know that. So it could be, you could be facing the wildest political situation in the history of the United States, where you have a president who is conducting business from a jail cell. Wow, right? While in the streets you have violent, you know, rainbow alphabet protesters and these others, these Boogalo boy types, militias and shit, heavily armed, running around. This is all at the same time. Now, if you think that this is going to diminish going up to 2024, I think you would be sadly mistaken. I think it's going to increase as you get closer to the 2024 elections, right? You have more of this, right? I'm gonna end with something real.
Just any sort of realistic shooting scenario. I don't want to see some bullshit slow fire nonsense that nobody actually does.
When it comes to combat, especially, I don't know if any of y'all.
Force.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you have been in combat, but I can speak from experience that when you're outnumbered, as we will be, shoot fast, and fire superiority is important. So I definitely agree with that, because slow fire don't happen. I ain't never seen that happen in combat. So you literally just shoot towards whoever's moving towards you and find cover. Cover is another important thing. So
Go ahead, practice cover, quick fighting, quick drawing, switching weapons, anything like that. All right, get ready to range.
all right, I'm gonna walk this way and see if we got anybody.
I guess there's a matter, boys. I got 2 spare mags in my backpack.
You can also set up a running gun along this path here if you want to. So y'all go ahead and do your thing.
We're just fucking around this way.
So I'll stop that right there, right? So I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna wrap. Right, this is just me reacting to some of the stuff that's going on, and just reflecting on it. Like, I guess you can see where this is going, right? Like, you don't have to be Nostradamus, right? And look and have a crystal ball to see where this is going. But a bigger question is, like, one thing I do believe, we all have to be tested. You see, people haven't been tested. You know what I mean? Particularly lately, right? People haven't been tested. It's time to see if you believe what you say you believe. You see? Because there's some people that do, and they're willing to fight and die for it. So there's a difference. Like me, most of the people I know, I'd say about 90, and that includes family, everybody, people I work with, people I come in contact with. 90% of the people that I think I meet, 95, I'd say, they don't believe the things that they say they believe at a certain level. And they're definitely not willing to fight and die for the shit that they'll argue with you about. Whether it be their Bible or their books, constitutions, their laws, their Jesus and all this, whatever it is that they're spouting off about. You see, they're not serious. You can look in their eyes like, I looked in, I've had like a guy pull a gun on me and looked in their eyes before, right? You know what I mean? And there's a certain look in a person's eye when you know that they mean business. You know what I mean? Like, I know this guy. This guy means business. If this shit goes south, he's gonna kill shit, right? That's what I mean. Looking in a person's eye, and so you can tell whether they mean business or not, or whether they are bullshit. Most of the people I know, they're bullshit, right? They'll argue with you about shit, but they don't really believe in any of that shit deep down in their core. You see? They're not, it's sort of like that what was it, the Avengers, where Loki killed the dude, and the dude was dying, and he said, "You're gonna lose." He said, "Why do you think I'm gonna lose?" And he said, "Because you lack conviction." You see? You're dealing with people that lack conviction. You don't believe you don't deep down believe that shit that you say you believe. You see? Trust me. The people that you say you believe in, you don't believe in those people. You know they are bullshit at a certain level, right? Deep in your spirit, you know that. You're just hoping nothing happens, right? So you can kick that can of bullshit down the road and keep it going. And it don't all get called out. You see, it don't get tested, right? That's what we hope. We hope we never get tested, right? It's like a guy talking loud, but he hopes he never gets in a fight and gets his block knocked off. You see, he never gets punched hard in the stomach or hard in the nose, right? Or whatever, right? But he wants to talk loud. See, he never gets tested though, right? But when he does, what happens? He gets hit and he crumples like a wet envelope. You see? That's most people. You see? They have no conviction, and they don't believe the things they say that they believe, right? And it doesn't have to be they live in an environment like in America. America's never been tested. America doesn't have to be tested. It's all propaganda. You see? Like a monkey running around waving a nuclear stick at everybody. You see? It's funny those aliens they said there was an incident where aliens turned off the nukes. Right? So what happens if somebody turn off your nukes? You have to come out and fight without them. Right? What happens when, something happens, right? Somebody takes the monkey's nuclear stick that he's waving around at everybody. I'm just saying, right? The next year is going to get real fucking interesting real quick. So, right? Speaking of aliens. So, and I think a lot of people, we're going to find out your level of conviction to these things, right? We're going to find out your level of conviction to your huge white Jesus poster on your wall, right? Or your picture of Barack Obama on your wall, or the picture of whatever it is that you pray to or that you think is valuable, right? Or that you find, that you draw, that people tend to draw from, right? We're going to find out people's level of conviction over the next 24 months as we go through the election per cycle, right? We're going to find out, right? You're probably going to get tested, right? We're going to see if you believe what you say you believe, and how willing and how far you're willing to take it. You see? It's a question, like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until they get hit. You see? Everybody got a plan until they get hit. Everybody talking shit about this and that, you see? But it never, like you live in America, it never has to be tested. right? You can sit up and argue with people about, you know, whatever it is, rainbow flags, American flags, Confederate flags, Nazi flags, right? White Jesus, black Jesus, whatever, right? Santa Claus. You can sit up and argue and debate all day and kind of get away with, you know, just pushing a bunch of bullshit narratives, right? And propaganda and doing a bunch of fuckery to everybody. That's America. The question comes though, what happens when all of that shit gotta get tested individually? Right? We will see the level of conviction, as he said, and as Agent Coulson told Loki. We'll see if you win or lose based on the level of your conviction to the things you say you believe in. Right? And that's a good thing, man. It's a good thing to finally watch people get tested. Right? So get ready for the freak show. Anyway, that's all I got.